The hair look at Fendi today is kind of aerodynamic. It's a small head, twisted in the back with a sort of wet texture. It's a modern version of a French pleat. I'm using some Frederick marine spray. It's like a sea salt spray just to give it a sort of good lived-in beachy kind of texture.
The starting point was the colors. Karl said like I would like to have the blue and the mustard, which and the best way to get the same colors as in the collection was to use actually the fabrics. And because there was a lot of color blocking and we wanted to do something subtle but graphic, I started playing with the fabrics, the neoprenes, and cutting small slices out of it and just glue it under the eye. It's like a little fabric eyeliner, and then on the bottom of the eye, not on top. And it's like a bit of color blocking.
My vision was, in a way, modern art, but with a three-dimensional effect. But it was also a lot about technical things, about cuts, proportions, and games with color, like modern painting. And it's very funny because I personally know everything about it, but had not thought about it, did it by instinct. There was this movement in Milano called Memphis, who made very interesting furniture 30 years ago. And I was the first person to buy the whole collection of them. I made a big house with them in Monte Carlo. And I had completely forgotten that, in fact, there was something in the back of my mind what could remind me to Memphis, but I had not formulated in words. I had done it by instinct. It was all in the back of my mind, part of my way of seeing things. And that, I must say, I was surprised, but it was totally right.
Fendi looked fantastic. I have to say, I love how Karl Lagerfeld took the F from the logo, turned it upside down, much like an L square, and using a lot of this idea of mosaicing a fabric and doing it almost with a mitered corner like you would a frame, but doing that mitered L square in different colors that were contrasting again on every runway, lace and leather, as you would expect at Fendi being such an important leather house.
I thought Fendi was really beautiful, one of the strongest shows of the week. Gorgeous color combinations. I thought what he does with fur is just kind of stupendous. It's hard to have a new fashion idea. There's kind of nothing new under the sun, but he manages to do things with fur that actually look like they have not been done before. Really beautiful.
It is beyond important because it's quite expensive. So if you buy something expensive, the craftsmanship has to be exceptional. If not, you go to H&M.
I would say it was universally popular and loved. I thought it was a really pretty collection. It was very clear. There was a very strong idea. The color blocking was amazing. The fur, just the color generally, but also the silhouettes. They were very feminine, you know, even though it was straightforward. I mean, there was very little that was frilly about that collection, but I think everybody really loved it and thought it was great.
The show opened with a big pop of a balloon, and that explosion of a balloon actually appeared later in the show as an explosion pattern on a digital print throughout the entire show, and even creating that digital print onto some of the fur pieces. But I love the interesting color mixes. Bright, shocking orange, melon, aqua, avocado. That idea of taking something that's really bold and bright and mixing it back to something that had a little bit more of a muddier base to it. I thought it was a chic and very sophisticated color palette.
Yeah, the shapes feel modern, and what he does with his fabrics, with his leathers, with fur, the kind of patchwork feeling that you saw in a lot of the accessories in particular today was really gorgeous.
Of course, everybody's talking about the baguette. They just had their baguette book, and they're reissuing many of the baguettes. Really fun how they took a big canvas tote, and on the side of it inserted an acrylic pocket, dimensional acrylic pocket, where you can tuck your new baguette or re-love your baguette that you have in your wardrobe so you get full credit for it. Really nice show for Karl Lagerfeld and the group at Fendi.
The dots that they had on the bag are kind of like, remember those dots that came on candy paper, on wax paper that you would eat off? That's what they look like. So it has this like innate playfulness and youthfulness to it.
I mean, fashion is about innovating, and Fendi are technically for leather and for fur a company who can do the wildest thing. The furs with all the implants of looking like a print, it's unbelievable.
I just think the last few seasons, Fendi has been getting better and better. I mean, somehow those guys are really kind of owning it. They seem to be working very well together. And it was a long show, different venue, and I love the graphic feel. There's also big feeling for strong, bold graphic statements this season. The color blocking was absolutely superb, and I kind of love the armadillo shoes.
I think Karl Lagerfeld is doing an amazing job. They are like hitting their strides the last few seasons like crazy. He's walked away from an older lady and he's starting to dress a woman in separates, like a way a younger woman would dress, rather than the kind of stodgier, older kind of Fendi that we knew from years past. It's really, really modern and great. I loved it. And the colors, the yellows and the oranges and that very geometric patterning that he did was so terrific.
But you know, it is always difficult to say the Fendi woman or the Chanel woman. We propose to all kind of women. There should not be a special woman. We should be the one who made a product what women want. But we should not say this is for this kind of woman. This is a proposition. This is our vision. This is our fashion idea, and I hope women will like it. But I'm not a fascist that for this kind of woman, and the others are not allowed to have it. There was once a French designer. She said, my dresses are only for clever women. She went out of business.